All right, so today is Tuesday, January 25th. The plan for today is you are going to complete the plant cell foldable, just like the animal cell foldable. There are 3 sheets. They're in a blue folder. They're on the table. Just ask the sub, whoever's in the room with you, to locate those and then get those passed out to everybody. So there's 3 sheets. You'll need the scissors. Those are in that red container on that shelf behind my desk. And then, of course, you need your glue stick. And you each should have your baggie with your glue sticks in there. So let me just pull this up here. Turn it sideways. All right, plant cell. So once you get yours put together here, then you can start filling in this information. All right, get my okay here. So first thing, we are not going to worry about number 2. You can cross that off. We are not going to worry about number 3. We are not going to worry about number 6, the tonoplast. The tonoplast is just the membrane around the vacuole. The amyloplast that we crossed off here is the type of plastid that holds starch. I typically go over that with an advanced biology class. We're not going to worry about that. So let's take a look at number 1 first. So choose a color. So number 1 with the plasdesma or plasmodesmata. So don't forget to, whatever color you're choosing, we're going to highlight the box here. And then these are the openings found in the cell wall. There's one there, there's one down here. And then these holes here that we see in the diagram, those are also examples of the plasmodesmata or plasmodesma. And all we're going to put here is that they are openings in the cell wall. Of course, that's going to allow certain things to go back and forth across the cell wall. Going down here to number 4. Okay, this one was also in the animal cell, the Golgi body. So again, choose a color. So this is the Golgi body here. Remember we said there's a kind of like stack of pancakes when we were labeling the animal cell. So we're going to go ahead and write same function as the animal cell. Again, like a stack of pancakes. And remember, this takes proteins from the rough ER and modifies them these get packaged and shipped off. Just like in the animal cell. So if you want to copy what you had written in the animal cell, that's fine. I just can't remember exactly what I had written down there. But you should have that information. So Golgi body is found in both the plant and animal cell. And then number 5, the Golgi vesicle. That's this right here. I believe there's one over here. Remember, these are the little packages that contain those modified proteins. So let me get color here. Packages that carry these modified proteins. All right. Number 7. Now, one thing we didn't really focus on in animal cells also have vacuoles, but they're tiny vacuoles. And that was not part of that diagram that we labeled. But plants are unique in that they have a huge, what's called a central vacuole. So let me get a color here. I guess I can use yellow. All right, so central vacuole. So that's this entire object right here. Its function, this can take up to 90% of the space of the cell. Can take up to 90% of the space in a plant cell. And then it typically holds water, is one of the most common substances it has. We're going to say it holds water. And other substances. We'll just put that here. All right, so there's our central vacuole. The mitochondria is next. Of course, this is also found in animal cells. Use this pink color here. So number 8 is the mitochondria. So we've got one here. Now you'll notice one way to distinguish here with mitochondria, we have this kind of folded up membrane here in the center. But this is a mitochondria. Let's see if we got another one on here. There's one here at the top, mitochondria. Make sure you color both of those. And then just like in the animal cell, you can copy yours from the animal cell. The function already uses, we call it the powerhouse, but there's a reason for that. It's going to uses oxygen and food to create ATP energy. So when we call it the powerhouse, because it creates this ATP energy that your cells require. Next then we have what's called the chloroplast. This is unique in plant cells. And they are green because of the pigment green. So I'm going to use green here. One thing about the chloroplast, you'll notice we have these stacks of membranes here. That's one clue that we're talking about the chloroplast. So this one is a chloroplast here. There's one over here, right next to the Golgi body. There's a chloroplast. You can color that in. And then over here, there's a chloroplast. There's 3 inside this diagram. Function. Let's put, first of all, it contains the pigment. It's a green pigment called chlorophyll. And it's used to create sugars during photosynthesis. All right, there's our chloroplast. Let's see, number 10, the cytoskeleton. You know, we have the cytoskeleton in the animal cell as well. Let me just make this a little bit larger. So it's this right here. Here's another one coming down. Here's some over here. Here's, I'm going to fill in these. This is the cytoskeleton. Got one here, here, over here on the left. Here's a few more. Again, it provides support to the plant cell, just like the animal cell. And it is made up of those 3 components like we have in the animal cell, the microtubules, the microfilaments, and the intermediate filaments. All right, so we're on number 11. So I'm going to scroll down here, other side. So number 15, okay, nucleus. So we're not going to actually color in the nucleus because just like with the animal cell, there are 4 components that make up the nucleus. So here, so I'm just going to write, just like in the animal cell, controls all cell activities. Okay, controls all cell activities. And then again, the nuclear pores, number 11. Let's just pick a color here. Again, so pores are these openings, just like we saw in the animal cell. I'll color those in. Get those all filled in there. Then we have one here, here, here. There's an opening here. Okay. So again, we're going to do a color, nuclear pores. And again, we're just going to write opening the nuclear membrane. And then I run out of room, so I'm going to put the rest up here. Allows materials to go back and forth. I'll put in and out. All right. The nuclear membrane. Again, so this is just the membrane here that surrounds the nucleus. Okay, so you can fill that in all the way around here. And so on. And we're just going to put surrounds the nucleus. That's all it does. Surrounds the nucleus. And then the DNA. Number 13, again, that's this squiggly material here that we see inside the nucleus. Again, another term for that in this form is called chromatin. So this carries all the genetic information. And make sure you do your color coding here around the boxes and then to that part of the cell. And then the nucleolus, that's just this middle ball here. Bring this down. Remember, this is the structure, the organelle that creates the ribosomes. Okay. Number 16. Again, let's take a look at number 18 first, these ribosomes. So ribosomes, remember, they make proteins. Let's put there, it creates proteins. One thing I want to add, because I don't think I talked about this on the animal cell, out of all the organelles, the ribosomes are the most numerous of all organelles. So there's more of these than anything else. Okay. So again, ribosomes, if we look at the rough ER, that's all these little circles. Again, you have to fill them. I fill in some so you know where they're at. Then they have some that's floating around here in the cytoplasm. There's some here, here, here. I think that's all in this one. Okay, so there's our ribosomes. So now if we go back to the rough ER, get a color here. Number 16, that's this organelle here. Whoops, sorry, I don't want that one. That is not part of the rough ER there. Okay. As long as it has a ribosome attached to it, that's the rough ER. And so let's write the, okay, there's my color here. So let's go. Again, rough ER is called rough because it has ribosomes on the surface. It's attached to the nucleus. And because it has ribosomes, it makes proteins. Okay. And then next to the rough ER, we have the smooth ER. Okay, so if we go up here, that's this section here that doesn't have any ribosomes attached to them. Okay, so there's the smooth ER. Bring down my color here. So smooth because there's no ribosomes. Smooth ER is responsible for breaking down drugs. Sorry, spelling's kind of off there. Drugs, toxins. So if you take an Advil or a Tylenol, all that's going to head towards in your liver, where you have most of your smooth ER, is going to break that stuff down for your body. It also creates lipids for the cell membrane. Okay. Again, the cytoplasm, we're not going to color in the cytoplasm. We talked about the difference between cytoplasm and cytosol. So the cytoplasm, that's the area between the cell membrane and nuclear membrane. The liquid material that textbooks talk about is, remember, it's called the cytosol. And you do have to know the difference between those two. This is the liquid that the organelles float in. All right. Here comes the next structure that we do not find in animal cells. It is the cell wall. So that is all of this right here. Even this section out here. This is actually a wall that's connected to another plant cell. But all of this that we have is the cell wall. Both layers here. Oops. If I go back up to the top then, it continues around here. I'm just using a lighter green since cell walls, plants are green. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the function here. It's made up of a polysaccharide called cellulose. We'll talk more about cellulose later. And of course, it gives support. And in a plant cell, this is the outermost layer of the plant cell. And then 21, we have the cell or plasma membrane. In the animal cell, the cell membrane was the last outer membrane of the animal cell. Here, this is found underneath the cell wall. And so this would be cell membrane. And then there's a little tiny layer right underneath the cell wall. This represents the cell membrane or the plasma membrane. You can keep going all the way around. So if I go back up here, it goes all the way around here, and so on. So in a plant cell, this is under the cell wall. And we say it's selectively permeable. Just like we wrote in the animal cell. Selectively permeable because it only allows certain substances to go back and forth. Okay, I think that pretty much takes care of all the plant cell parts. Again, so you need to work on that today. If for some reason you don't get done in class today, you'll get some time tomorrow. Kind of give you a little bit of time to catch up on some things. Again, if you have any questions while you're working on this, use the Remind app. Send me a message if you need to. I should be able to respond and then help you out with whatever you need help with. And please be nice to the sub. Thank you.